Okay, so if you work in audio, any way, shape, or form, if you're in a band, if you record things on the side for fun, if you do sound design, anything like that, you probably know what this is. And this is a Shure SM57 microphone. This is probably the industry standard microphone that you will come across in every avenue of audio. This is used on presidents' speeches, the industry standard for recording guitar cabinets. I use it on drums all the time. I threw it in a trombone once so that we could record it in a live scenario at a concert. It's used everywhere. This microphone is awesome. It literally can do anything. The bad part about it, if you know what this microphone is, you probably know that it's about $100 retail US. And it's probably one of the most affordable microphones around for how good it is. But that doesn't mean you don't go through them all the time. Like, I go through them all the time because there's always a drummer hitting them with his sticks and breaking them, or they get lost, or they get stolen because they're so easy to steal. Like, stuff like that happens all the time. So I was looking for a more like money-friendly solution for replacing them, and I found something that is not necessarily the greatest thing in the world, but on further inspection, I think it might be able to be used to replace it. Not in 100% of all scenarios, but it's just good enough to skate by for about a quarter of the price. Let's see what I got in here. This is the Monoprice Performance Dynamic SM57 microphone clone. It comes with a clip. Oh, this feels so cheap. Okay. Well, there's not much to that. I'm gonna test this microphone and I'm gonna see what it can do compared to one of these. This is so cheap. Oh, wait. It's fine. Oh. Jesus Christ. Holy mother. That's insane. Oh my god. What the hell? How cheap are these? This is like the cheapest wire absolutely ever. These are actually ridiculous how cheap these are. So I screwed off the cap, just trying to see what the internals were like. Holy shit. Well, luckily I bought two of them. Thinking ahead. Oh, that's insane. My clip's not bad, I can tell you that. My clip is not terrible. Put that inside. And open the second one, I guess. Almost no padding in the box. No padding in the cheap bag that they come in either. So I'm not gonna take this one apart because I'm afraid that it'll break the second that I do. But this feels about the same as the other one. All the weight's in the back, and that's because they don't actually like take most of the weight out of this metal. Like, if you see on the inside of the other one, you can see on the inside that there is a little, there's actually basically a weight in there, like solid metal piece that's just meant to make this microphone feel weightier. I don't think it's there for any particular audio reason. I can see if it's a magnet, maybe there being some sort of magnetic repulsion or something like that, but that's just not the case. And it's the same thing with this one. 80% of the weight is in the back of this microphone, where with an SM57, most of the weight is towards the top front of the microphone, and it's all near around the capsule. I mean, there's still some weight in here, but it's not as much of an imbalance compared to this. It's just not that great. My idea is that we put it to the test and see what happens. Throw it up on a cab and see if we can get a decent tone out of it. All right, so my my methodology here is going to be that I record a reamped guitar signal going through this PRS 212 coming out of my audio interface with first the SM57 measured at a specific length, roughly 2 inches, directly off the cone, pointed straight at the cone. And then I do the same thing with the Monoprice and see if it sounds any different. I mean, it will sound different, but I want to see how it sounds different. I've got my DAW set up right here. I have a guitar demo DI sent to me by the guitarist of my band, and I'm gonna see if I can get this to sound good coming out of the PRS cab behind me. I'm just gonna see if I can get a decent tone out of it. I'm gonna play real quick the tone that I have set up with like an amp sim here, and then I'm gonna send that amp sim out of a power amp to the cab. So this is the tone I have right here. Not bad at all. So I'm gonna send that to the power amp without the cab on it. I'm using all free plugins for this guitar tone. So I'm using TSC 808 for an overdrive. I'm using Ace, which is an amp sim from Shattered Glass Audio. And then I'm just doing a little bit of EQing on that with Re-EQ, which is a free EQ inside of Reaper. So I'm gonna send this without this cab on it to the guitar. So I'm gonna send that straight to the power amp and see how that sounds coming out of the cab. Also, to protect my ears, I'm gonna use Shure in-ears. It's the best I got. So I'm gonna take a return recording of this. Okay, that was the SM57, and now I'm gonna switch it out for the Monoprice and see if anything changes. Okay. Oh my lord, it feels so much cheaper. Alright, I'm gonna get it exactly 2 inches away from the center of the cone, just so we have an equal comparison. Let's see if this actually turns out okay. I have my doubts, but I guess you never know. Let's see what happens. All right, so just doing that for a couple seconds, I can already tell that it's a bit hotter. So I'm gonna need to do some gain adjustment to make sure that it actually sits in the right spot, and then I'll take a listen. Okay, that should be in the right spot. So first the SM57. I know that the gain levels had to be adjusted slightly for these to work properly because for some reason the Monoprice is a lot hotter, like 6-7 decibels hotter than the SM57, which doesn't totally make sense to me, but that's not bad. I'd say it's got a little bit of a grit in the high end, but I wouldn't necessarily say that it's terrible. It's not the worst guitar tone I've ever heard. With a little bit of EQing, it could be really good. Let me hear what this later section sounds like. Yeah, definitely a bit scratchy, but it's definitely because we're pointing straight at the cone. So I want to see what the Monoprice sounds like in comparison. Jesus Christ, that's a lot of extra high end. So now I'm doing some exclusive soloing, so I'm soloing between one to the other to see the differences really starkly between the two microphones. Yeah, the SM57, and granted, the SM57 already in itself is regarded as like a scratchy microphone when you put it straight up on a cone like this, and it's smooth as butter compared to the Monoprice. Holy mother, this thing is scratchy. But for $25, I don't know what I expected. good at all. But I mean, for $25, it gets the job done. I'm just coming back to this project after a couple hours after the recording and after I thought I had concluded with like what I wanted to say. And I just started mucking around with the Monoprice 57's track and see if I could EQ it to get it to sound half decent or something like that. And I think, not that it sounds as good as the 57, but it has its own characteristic that, like, you never know. If it's something where, like, you want a lot of bite out of a mic and you're willing to do a little bit of EQing to get a couple weird frequencies out of it, it might be worth it for you for just the $25 price point. I'm not saying that it's the best microphone in the world, but what I am saying is it's not terrible. And not terrible is pretty decent for $25. So this is the 57. Let me skip to a different part of the song. This is the Monoprice. 57. I'm not gonna say that that's terrible. I can't say that that's terrible. Yes, it's really scratchy, but I bet if I didn't mic it straight on the cone and if I mic'd it off axis, about 45 degrees or so, and I bet with some decent EQing, that microphone could sound just as good, if not a little bit like harsher than a 57, and that could be useful in, like, I don't know, some very specific guitar scenarios. Who knows, maybe that's something that you're really interested in. If that is, cool. If it's not, totally understandable. I'm just gonna give you my opinions about it. I think it's a decent microphone for the $25. I'm actually going to be out this time because last time I thought I was done. If you like the video, go ahead and subscribe. Have a good day.